Hey, it's Chris with HomeDiary again. This is the same day as demo day for our bathroom, but the electrician's coming by, so I'm gonna have him actually prepare for our new Tesla Model 3 that's gonna be coming here in a couple weeks. So pretty excited about that. So what we're gonna do is, with this panel, we live in Seattle, and while this panel, it's a 200 amp panel, it has a circuit breaker right there that is a 50 amp circuit breaker for air conditioning. Well, we do not have air conditioning, and so my thought is I'm just going to reuse that circuit breaker. At some point we may get air conditioning, but at that point, you know, we'll figure it out. I do basically don't have any more space, so as you can see, I've got like one open slot, and I think I can't put like a 50 or 60 amp circuit in there, which is kind of what's recommended with the Tesla charger. So a little bit of an in pickle here, given I'm spending a lot of money on the Tesla and accessories and whatnot. I'm going to try to reuse this and save some money. So my thought is the charger will probably go you know, either on either side of the panel here. So I need to talk to Todd, our contractor, when he gets here. And then all this junk is going to be gone. One, here's the cabinet for the bathroom that we've had sitting in our garage for probably 4 months. We just got the same cabinet at the same time we did our other bathroom. The tile will be used. This is the tile that's going to be going in there, and then we have a bunch of HelloFresh boxes that we're saving if and when we actually redo our kitchen, so kind of store all that stuff. So anyway, this is the third garage bay. Makes sense for the Tesla to go in here, just given its proximity to the panel. So when Todd gets here, we'll reconnect and figure out what to do here. All right, see you then. So Todd, our electrician, is actually going to put in a new 50 amp circuit, and he's reconfiguring some existing 15 amps into skinnier ones, so two can go in the place of one. He's going to loop the wire over there out the wall in a conduit, and the charger will go above that gray cable box eventually. So it's a good solution, makes lots of room, and we don't have to spend much money on it. Over here, you'll see I've had the electrician in over the weekend. He actually installed a new 50 amp circuit breaker. You see right there that's off. To do that, he actually added in these smaller, skinnier 15 amps to make some room, because I've got a 200 amp service, but as you can see, kind of running out of room. So he moved a few things around, and now have the car charger here. The Tesla unit, charger unit, is coming via FedEx soon, so I'm just going to hook that up once it's here. Okay, so I'm just doing a little pre-planning here where I'm going to put the bracket, where the unit's going to go. I'm going to keep that black hook that I used to have, I think a fertilizer spreader hanging on, and I'm going to loop the charging cables over that. So drilling some pilot holes, putting the bracket in, and going to mount it to the wall here. Okay, a few essentials. You're going to need some kind of screwdriver that can accept bits, because Tesla does send along these little torque screw bits that you need to get the cover off. It should fit in here. So that's one thing you need, and then the other is something to drink, and it's Friday afternoon, late Friday. It's beer time, so this is going to be a companion. I'm going to go ahead and take the top off, and after I get the top off, I can wire it. So I got my glasses on, so I can actually see now. and we'll go from there. I got the top off. Just be careful, there's some mounting little plastic tabs here. So when you get it, there's two here on each side of the bottom. So this is where you take the screw off. And then there's two here. Once you get those two dislodged with the screwdriver, it should pop right out. So save that. And now you can see these torque screws. So that's where these babies will come in handy with this screwdriver. And it's a T20. So it fits right in. The screw. Take a sip of beer. That tastes good on a Friday afternoon. And there she blows. Okay, so now that we've got this open, I'm gonna have to read some more directions. So I'm gonna go ahead, pause it, and I'll come back after I make some progress. Who would know that just drilling some holes can make you sweaty, but let me show you the progress. It said, put it about 60 inches high max, so that's, about there. But I've got this hanger. It can be good for the cord. So it's in there pretty solid. I put 4 plastic anchors in there, and then 2 of the screws right into the 2x6. So it's I don't think it's going anywhere. It's pretty solid. So there you go. I'm gonna hook up the rest, and here we go. Little hiccups along the way, and this is exactly why I'm making these videos, because there's so much knowledge that each of us have as homeowners and little things we do, and it doesn't get passed on. So part of the idea of Home Diary is, how do we document our house? How do we pass on some of that information so it lives? It's tied to the address. So anyway, a couple things. One is these screws that I used here to go into the anchors are popping out. So the bottom bracket, I can't actually screw it in. So I need to either screw those in more or get more of a flush mount. And then the other is this wall is, I don't have quite the clearance to be able to actually screw in this side, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to actually screw in the right side of this thing. So it's a work in progress. We'll figure it out. So I changed out the screws so they sink down into the bracket, and the right side, just using a little bit different wrench to tighten it all up. Okay, so just to give you a little more detail here, there's a few things we're going to need to do. That little red switch over there on the left looks like in the correct position. You need to change it based on your configuration. And then there's a little dial, and based on the fact that I've got a 50 amp, I need to turn that to 8. So you can see it's got a little arrow, and I just will turn that with a small screwdriver. And then the ground will go there, and then the 2 hot wires the black will go in there. So I'm gonna wire it up and we should be good to go. Okay, I showed you that little dial. So this is the dial, and it'll show you here. I've got a breaker. It's going to charge at 40 amps. So I need to set that dial to 8. So that's what I'm going to do here. Get my handy dandy light. I've got all the wires hooked up. I've checked to make sure they're up and in there. You kind of have to, jam it up and then screw it, just so it's seated right. But I'll just give you a look here. You can see it's nicely seated. I've got that dial turned to 8 for my 50 amp circuit. So the next step here is I'm going to put this cover on and turn it on, make sure there's a green light. So let's see what happens. And there's really only one way this will work. It's got a little notch and it matches there. Okay, I'll screw that up, but I'm gonna flip the breaker. Hopefully this works. Ooh, we got power. That's exciting. All right, power, baby. Okay, so I think everything's good to go. I'm gonna go ahead, put the other screws on, and all we need now is the Tesla, which we're calling Marty. Marty McFly's had a big influence on my life, and so I think it's appropriate. Okay, the one thing you don't want to lose is this little torque screw that goes at the bottom. So I just spent the last 10 minutes trying to find it on my floor. So yeah, suggest placing things in a good spot. But I'm gonna put the final cover on. So it should just snap into the place here, and then take that off. That's pretty. And the final screw at the bottom, and we're done, ready for the car. There you go. So this I feel like I'm having a kid. It's been a 2.5-year gestation period. We put our deposit in for the Tesla in April of 2016. It's now September 2018. So looked at a lot of YouTube videos. Part of that was the inspiration for really creating this HomeDiary channel. Not just for the car, but for really everything you do in and around your home. Obviously the garage is a key component of what's in your house, and the money and time you spend. So I thought it'd be a great way to just showcase what I'm doing and how hopefully it can help you. So just to kind of summarize the process here, we had a 50 amp circuit put in. And that's going to power 40 amps of charging in this Tesla wall connector. Just a few things here to remind you of what my issues were. One, use screws that can seat into the bracket itself. Otherwise, these back bottom screws are not going to be able to fit. So I tried to use like some anchor screws that came with the anchor kit, and that didn't work. Make sure you flip that little lever if it's different on the red on the left to your right setup, and then adjust that dial wheel for your right amperage and the circuit breaker that you have. So again, in my case, it's a 50 amp circuit breaker, and therefore I needed position number 8. So there you go. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you're gonna get a Tesla, enjoy as much as hopefully I will. Take care.